All right. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast again. I have a friend with me today, a guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Uh, Good morning to all. Man, with a different time zone day. Yeah, just call me Nathaniel for the day, and that's all I say. Back to you.
All right. Just for the audience get a better sense of who we are. Want you to talk about a few things regarding yourself. It can include but not limited to stuff regarding your age, current occupation, national identity you wish to identify with, and sexual orientation.
Okay. What was the first thing again? My age or
Yeah, age, current occupation, nationality that you identify with, and sexual orientation.
all right. I'm 20 years old. But I will skip the occupation part because that private. Um, I am Jamaican naturally, and the gender. What the, I'm male. That's all. I'm male. I'm a heterosexual male.
All right. Good enough, good enough. All right. So
Mhm.
the topic that we'll have now for today is why women play games in a relationship. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think most women just do it because well, it's about the fun or the courage or the certain physique that a man displays towards them. Play around a relationship. Hmm. That um okay. I don't understand why they do it. Because I'm a guy myself, I just think that they're just attracted to that certain type of physique and expect some guys from Woyoy to present that to them so the game can be more fun. I don't know why, though. I don't know from that point on.
Yeah. All right. Well, right now I don't really have anything much to add to it. I'd like to rather wait until after the video or halfway through the video. So we have a video by the same title and it's by a YouTuber called Infinite Colors. So yeah, he's a relatively new YouTuber, has like under 10,000 subscribers as we speak right now. So yeah, I watched the video already. I found it very informative. So yeah, let's watch it together.
Okay, let's talk about something else. So, when you first start talking to a guy and you want to seem like, like you got your own schedule, your own program, you don't need no man, okay? But he asks you what you're doing and you gotta lie because you're just in the bed. So, I be just coming up with shit off the top of my head because I don't want to overthink it. I tend to overthink. So, I be saying like anything like, oh, I just left the gym. Oh, I just got a cup of coffee. Oh, I just finished skydiving with Lil Wayne.
Well, consider the fact that she was at one of the Kanye West video shoots and she knows him. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually really did know Lil Wayne. Very quick video, and it's gonna be very quick because I don't think this takes much explanation. But this is the type of things that I get frustrated about. It's the games that people play, the games. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just games from women, which I do feel like women play more games than men, but I don't know. I just think it's wired in women's DNA to have a challenge, so they have to play games. And men play games too, but I think they play games more so because they know the women gonna play games, and if they don't play that game, they're not gonna win that game. That's why they called some dudes players. So all I'm saying is that we got to the point where we were straight up with each other and we didn't play games. We were clear with our intentions from the beginning. I feel like we will find meaningful relationships. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not sure if that will ever happen because women get bored quick when they're not challenged and when they don't have emotional
Mm-hmm.
variety. So they play these games to have this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just 100% facts. But can't I can't say all women. I can't say all women because
No, you
you
can
know.
never really say all, but you can say, boy, there's definitely a set of like females out there that portray these traits. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they exist, you
Mm.
know. All
But
right.
me just say a girl displays them type of qualities, then just cut my pace and just do me I do on my side, improve myself, and find a girl who actually worth my time. Cause she don't want me. We're not playing no chess. We're trying to play a game called life. And you really just want there play some fuck around game? No. So I'm just abandon them girl.
Oh, why? Before I say what is I watch a lot of videos like these already. Not necessarily on the same topic, but stuff that cover very similar stuff like what he's saying. And can I tell you, I don't even think I could really manage it. I understand sometimes curiosity can get the better of us, but it's too much. It's like one thing I definitely do not look forward to when entering a relationship or anything like that. So
True.
yeah. All right, yeah, that's all right, cool.
Challenge, this emotional variety, this excitement in life. One of the wisest things my dad ever said to me about women as it relates to men is that women are not physically stronger than men. So they had to figure out how to develop their minds in order to overcome or beat men. So what basically he's talking about, he's saying being manipulative. Women are naturally more manipulative than men because manipulation is an intellectual tactic that you use to have a greater outcome over somebody or to win over somebody, to have an advantage over somebody. So that means if you're not, it's almost like us with animals, right? Of course, not crazy, but the way humans are with animals, we're not stronger than most animals. We're just smarter than them, or we're more manipulative than them, right? Not saying women are more smarter than us, than men, but what I'm saying is women only had that to rely on. See, men were also intelligent and strong. Women are not strong physically, but they're very intelligent. So when a man turns on his full intelligence and full manipulation game, i.e., pimps and players and stuff like that, they're the ones who are taking advantage of the women. But most women think in terms of this because of, like I said, because they weren't physically stronger. So it's just how, because they operate in that space so much, I feel like they don't even know how to turn it off because that's just how they operate. That's how women operate in general. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's only bad when it's to your detriment. But if it's just, that's just how they are, though. It's not bad.
True.
All right, so yeah, that's the end of the video. Ooh.
I do believe women dominating the mind games while men dominate on physical. Because the hero Jordan Peterson, if you didn't know him, you know him.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah. It is a woman dominating manipulation, men dominating assertion. He did not say those are bad traits. No. Manipulation can be a somewhat a good thing. And assertion can be a good thing as well. But again, those are just the natural traits that both genders have and worked with for the past millennia or something like that. Yeah. So I believe, yeah, that is true. Women are highly manipulative and men are highly assertive. So I I don't know what to say about that. But yeah.
One of the funny things about it is when I was like watching the video, I was like, yeah, I mean, men are always physically stronger, and women know how to use their minds a lot better than men, especially in our early ages. Because a lot of videos will tell you different age brackets or so, but normally they say that on average, men don't really reach their peak until. So I'm just going to put it out there as like for all the videos I've accumulated so far, like somewhere between like 30 to like 55.
What do you mean by in cognitive brain development
like like
or
like
just
like like, like in every aspect of our lives, like probably
oh you
outside
mean
of physicalities aside, because normally I say we peak in our 20s. With that aside, normally we peak in everything else when it comes on to like financial side of things, the
okay.
cognitive, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean at that point it's also
Well,
physicalities, but then
well, when we say all right, when we ask about cognitive, our brains don't fully develop for men. It don't fully develop until ages 26 to 27. I read it could. There's a lot of numbers. But I heard 25 to 27. I heard a lot of numbers. But yeah, for women it develops much faster.
yes.
So yeah, yeah. That's what I was asking. When we reach 30, what type of peak, we're talking about financial peak, or but you just said financial, so it makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and regarding with females too, I've also watched other videos about when females peaked as well. And now I'm being told that they peak between the ages of like 18 to like, it's debatable, but normally it typically the biggest stretch I've seen so far with it is like the age 35. So between 18 to age 35, because I believe that's around the time when females also experience what's called geriatric pregnancy. Somewhere around that
Mm-hmm.
their early 30s going to mid 30s and moving forward. That's when they experience those type of stuff. And other problems can occur if they try to have a baby moving forward, which seems to be the norm nowadays.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess some guys can look forward to some girls freezing their eggs. Not saying I'll do it or most do it still, but there are definitely some out there that are trying to make it a little more normalized in society than probably it should be, which is debatable. So
Well, I think they need to know their priorities. Do they want a family, or do they just want a good job? Like that's the next thing that you need to sort out. Do you want a family? Because if you want a family, you have a certain time. But if you want a job, you have all the time that you have. So I think they just need to, check that out or sort that out later on in their lives or something like that, or as soon as possible. Because
yeah,
yeah.
it's funny you talk about that too, because I've seen lots of videos whereby like they have like older females that are like in their mid to late 30s or even 40s moving forward, and females who are like below the age of like 27, right? And maybe not all the time, I won't say all the time, but there have definitely been times where they seem to have this type of mindset whereby the same things they're accomplishing now, they will be able to accomplish it at a later date as well, regarding everything they're doing, from finances to even getting men and having children. And I remember I was having a discussion with my own mother, and she was like saying something along the lines of like, even if one of the problems that she believes many females are on into is that some of them believe that it's okay for them to have like say, children at the age of like 37 or so. But if they were to have a child from say in their 20s or their early 30s, it would somewhat be easier for their bodies to adjust and to get and to adapt to an easier setting if they are to ever get pregnant again. So I definitely believe this is one of those things where other females also like one of those aspects they don't really think about, because let's say they had a child and they give up the child for adoption and they had this child, like say, in their early 20s. If they are to have a child again, their bodies will adapt to that much easier than it would the first time, especially if they plan to have it later in their day, because they plan to put their careers above everything else. So yeah, I mean that's something other females need to like, look into as well. Not a must, but something that they probably miss out after the time. So those stuff can really help out, even if you don't really plan to like necessarily look after your own biological child, which is the first one. But it needs somewhat help to an extent.
Mm. Well, but nobody's there to teach women that nowadays, but whatever. Well, anything that would teach them is either oppressive or whatever, or um misogynistic or whatever. So we just left it one. Those who actually know the consequences of these things, we just work with. But
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
the
funny you should talk about that as well. I remember watching a video, I believe it was like a clip or a section of a Kevin Samuels video. And he was saying that like I think he was talking like the Bible, and he was even saying that if you are to look in the Bible and even amongst people in the modern day, to the people who can give some of the best advice out there to like youngsters, they normally say that like a female that is an older female, more mature female, like the mothers or an older auntie or something like that, an older like female figure normally has to guide some of these females in what to do, because if they are not shown proper guidance, or their older female counterparts are like doing some stuff that they're not supposed to be doing, then no matter how many times you tell them don't do it, an argument can be made that they will still do it, or you can't expect them to not do it, because that's what they're seeing, that's what they're being exposed to.
Mm.
So it's one of those situations whereby even if a father figure is there, that might not really be enough, because every female that is like at an age of like 20s or 30s or up beyond that age, if they're all doing some things like going on OnlyFans and all this type of stuff, then that's really all the girl is going to really know what to do when she reach that stage as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I don't like girls go up on OnlyFans, brother. Like, and then you're gonna judge we if we just don't like it because it depend. Like, the heck, you use your body to get money. So basically, you're an online stripper. Like, what the difference? Like, literally, what the difference? Because you just literally be misogynist to your own damn body. You
yeah,
literally degrade yourself as you do this. But you say, true me not like you. Honey, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. It's either you want to respect yourself and at least show that you're actually your body is for me and my eyes alone, or your eyes and such, your body is for everybody else on this freaking planet who can literally just get it or just hack your damn system and spread it all over the goddamn world. Sorry for that. But yeah, like, why you do this? We don't waste time with them type of girls. If you really do that, we'll just cut you off instantly. Because
yeah,
literally, you're not traditional wife, you're not a woman, you're just a woman who just want to make money. And if that's your main agenda, well, oops, that's what life goes. Well, what I mean by woman who want to make money, I don't mean like, this is the only way for hustle. And so there are a lot of ways to
yeah.
hustle and get money. But to do it like this in a degrading fashion, no, no. I want a woman, not a slut. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the funniest thing, it's very sad to know that there are a female out there that I don't remember who's. I think it's probably even Jordan Peterson who said it himself that he tends to notice a lot of the females he encounters in his life, the younger ones, once they reach a certain maturity level, once they reach like let's say in their early 30s or mid 30s, that's when they begin to realize that a lot of the stuff they have, a lot of characteristics they have in their life currently, it's not able to get them the man they want. I'm not saying every woman necessarily wants or needs a man, but the ones who are out there who have that mindset that almost like trick themselves into believing that they don't realize that these type of stuff can damage their future image as regard to whether they are considered wife material or not. Especially when they play all these games and all these stuff like in the video, like you don't even know what to believe at this point. You can't believe her again.
And you also mean they just become more materialistic at ages 20 to till them realize at age 30 it said those things don't matter. Okay, all right, I understand. I was like, yeah, that's true. Not say all of them, but not say all of them. But the one that I'm say my home country, yeah, I gotta say majority of them. No disrespect. But
Jamaican woman out there. You're first.
No disrespect, but literally, you see that. Apart from my own friend group, them, yeah, I see it everywhere. For the old materialistic woman, yeah. That's how I make that clear.
Oof. I'm not going to say that that those type of females make up majority of the females in Jamaica, but especially what I've seen in the more urban areas, that made that you may have some truth to that statement. Yeah. It's a bit too in your face for my taste. I don't really like those type of females, personally speaking. So yeah, it's probably one of the reasons why compared to other persons in my friendship circles, I don't really have that much experience with other females when compared to them, because they're literally taking anything and anything they can get. And I'm like, oh bro, you have a standard. Just work with it. Just work with it.
Brother, you can go to church to find a good girl.
Why
Can go to church.
That within itself is as I said, is another part of bubble that I don't really want to entertain for too long. But yeah, that there is some truth what I said still. There is some truth, but I just choose not to really go that route for the time being. I rather keep down low for that until I don't know. There are certain topics that I just rather leave alone for now until I'm more mature and I'm actually able to talk about it and not be like, hey, you know, I heard you on the podcast, and I'm like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, you were talking bare crap,
True.
and I'm like, okay, I obviously know nothing about this, you know. So I do know it exists definitely, even outside of this country, but yeah, it's a crying shame. So
So you want me to talk about it and then
no, audience, don't listen to me now. Don't listen to me now. Okay, audience, you heard it here first. So yeah, going back to the initial video, the playing the games. Well, I can tell you, I've definitely been played before in my life. It wasn't nice. For all females listening to this, you're hearing it here first. We don't really like it. There are some guys out there who like it, but I think it's best to kind of like, as we say, vet them to kind of find out if they have that personality where they like the games. Can some of these games, not most of them, if not maybe even all of them, be toxic? Yeah, there is a possibility as well. So maybe you need to look into that within yourself. But regarding like how men respond to it, it is we don't really take it well, especially once we begin to mature a little bit and we move beyond that. Because even after the guys who are willing to entertain you stuff, it's always like in their early youth. And when you reach like 25, 27, 30 moving forward, you tend to notice that guys who used to like this sometimes don't really like it again. So yeah, to all the girls who are toxic and you want toxic guys and whatever, there probably is a guy out there for you. But this idea of trying to eventually mature one day and then probably change him one day so that he doesn't like the games anymore himself, that is complete and utter rubbish, in my opinion, at least, because people have to change whether they like it or not, but they have to be it on their own. You can't change them. You either give them out, no matter how many ultimatums you want to give them, what's done is done. You chose a person at a time when you were toxic in your life. Just try to learn from the mistakes of your elders. That's all I would say. Anything you want to add? All right. What you have to say?
I don't think, it's like women just naturally just do this thing. I just think it's a peer group that they associate themselves with. And what those morals and peer groups that enforce, that those peer groups give the girl itself. Just so like I say, so it makes sense. In a sense, you go from a bad neighborhood and such and such. So you basically adapt to your neighborhood, you adapt to your surroundings, you adapt to the people in there. So that's what I'm thinking. Like that's probably why majority of women like this or something like that, who like to play games. There are a lot of fuck boys, there are a lot of fuck girls, whatever, and such and such. And the people who are in their lives encourage them to do these things and take a leap further into their toxicity, given, if it's toxic, whatever. But yeah, and those are the bad things that the bad roles that we're trying to encourage in our youth and such. Because literally you can just see a little girl from primary school at twerk on a boy. Not primary school meaning like she in a grade 3 at twerk on a boy.
Okay. Better clarify that from now.
Yeah. I'm just to say. Like literally, these are the type of things that we are encouraging within our youths, and that will clearly them are gonna adapt to it in the future and it'll come worse and worse. But that's not the thing. That's not what we want to do. But that's where we're currently heading. I don't know where else we can just stop from this, but whatever happens. It's just gonna keep getting worse until we control the cultural shift that we're taking. Because if we don't control it, well, a lot of crazy things are going on in Jamaica to become a real reality show. And I can't take that in my head. So yeah, that's the main reason why me think that there are a lot of women who play around with man feelings and such and such. And guys who love fuck on girls, because literally, if you go to Jamaica, anywhere else in Jamaica, you literally hear somebody from you usually gonna hear some involving guns or sex or drugs or whatever like that from other people in the toxic neighborhood. Like I saw things go down in Jamaica. But whatever it is, it is what it is. Can't control that for now. But I don't know why politicians just ignore this, but whatever. That's how things go.
Yes, indeed, unfortunately. But yeah, this is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to like have the podcast out there, because realistically, I realized that throughout the last probably 2 to 3 years, a lot of females don't really consider what us men think. I literally even asked a female during an internship last year, like, what do you think the guy that you wants in you? And if you ever saw her facial expressions after that, flabbergasted, I tell you, I kill you not. This girl had never thought about something along those lines ever in her entire life. And if so, she didn't really think about it in a sense ever like discussed around people that she could probably trust or consider friends or acquaintances. So this is one reason why I want to have the podcast, because apparently a lot of females out there don't really think about this type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? And when us guys come on and we say these things and we put these stuff on YouTube and other social media platforms, it really does to some extent open their eyes. Some of them out there will definitely be stubborn and be like, definitely not. And there are some of them who are going to listen to it, but they probably don't even believe it anyways until maybe it's even too late. Who knows? But the reality is, you can't say nobody said it. That's the whole point of this podcast. We say it, if you wish to believe it or not. But if it comes to bite you back later in your, later years, that's our problem. So, is there anything else you want to add before we close the session today?
No. Can't speak that much on this topic here, but no, not for now.
All right then. Well, today was kind of a short session because I believe it's probably like the shortest video we've ever like reacted to on the podcast. But yeah, thank you again, Nathaniel, for coming on. I hope to see you soon again as another guest on the podcast. And thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Universal entity for some odd reason.
All right. Thank you. And hope to see you guys soon. All right.
Take care.